Good morning. I am in New York City. We are in New York City, and we are filming our couples Q&A. This has been a long time coming. I've had this since May 17th of 2020, and I have yet to find a time to do it. So today is the time, and today's the day. Okay. Let's see. We just woke up and walked down to Bryant Park to get coffee, and we're sitting in the park, and it's really peaceful. And I just had to shoot this dress, so that's why I'm wearing a fluffy dress, but it's super cute. You'll see this on Instagram soon. But yeah, okay, let's get started. So, how did you know?
Are you interviewing me?
Yes. I'm gonna ask you a question, and then you can ask me a question, but we're both answering. So, how did you know each other was the one?
So there's no preparation for this, just so you know. So this is
Actually, I haven't read these since May 17th of 2020.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did you know that you're the one? Okay.
How did you know?
Yeah. A lot of different things. I think people are always looking for one special moment, but I think it was a series of a lot of different confirmations, people around me. Not that that's the only thing that matters, but the people that I love and trust, they confirmed that in me. And also, I mean, I think I just prayed about it, and I felt peace about it, and it was easy. It felt like the right move, and it was overdue. She was mad at me because how long it was taking. So, yeah. Yeah,
I would say similar. Everyone around me, like my family, my friends, everyone loved him. Everyone loved the idea of us, and also we dated for so long that it was kind of like we were already a part of each other's families, and it just meshed well. And then I would also say, because I feel like he handles me well, like more than anyone else ever has, including my family. So I think that was a big one. It's just like, it was so different than anyone else I ever liked, which, I mean, I was like 15 at the time, so it wasn't really super serious anyways, but yeah, you were just different, and in a good way, and I felt like it was just right. I had peace about it. So yeah, okay. Advice for couples who are constantly fighting over stupid things.
It happens. I think don't let one small moment define a long relationship of happiness and joy, and hold on, and just try to die to yourself, as hard as that is. Try to put your emotions to the side, and I think that relationships are based upon sacrifice. And so if you can sacrifice your own emotions, your own desires, what you want, what you think is best, and compromise in a good way to help the other party, then that's always going to lead to, the result of having peace.
Yeah. I would say, as far as just, I feel like a lot of our fights are over stupid things, so usually it's stemming from me. So I feel like I give good advice here. I would say usually there's always a deeper issue than what the stupid thing is. So I would say maybe try to just look inward at your own heart and not at the other person, because a lot of times you just take things out on the other person, and that's what causes stupid fights. So maybe just being super vulnerable with yourself and with your spouse, and just figuring out what the deeper issue is, whether that's like feelings of, I don't know, loneliness or discontentment, or whatever that bigger issue is, that you're taking it out on those smaller problems every day. And then also just communication, like that's so huge, and just being okay with sitting down after the heat of the moment and just like sharing what hurt you, or sharing what's going on. And I think the more open and vulnerable you can be with your spouse, the more they're going to understand where that's coming from, and they'll be able to like look past that in order to help you rather than just lash back out at you.
I'd say the deeper issue doesn't always have to be some massive thing, but it could be a series of a lot of small things, like are you hungry, are you tired, are you dealing with chronic pain. I deal with a lot of like back pain, and it makes me sometimes just in a bad mood. So it could be a lot of things that are playing a factor, and it's not just personal vendetta against each other. So
right, like it could be just like, obviously these are like mundane things, like a bad day at work or whatever, and you come home, but like maybe something like deeper has been happening at work, and like that's something you can chat about with your spouse rather than just coming home in a bad mood. So just like understanding what it is. Like for instance, I was just thinking this, like you're like not feeling well and stuff. It's like kind of, it stems from the bigger thing would be like you being fearful of what's wrong with you, or like having anxiety about that, where like I could help in that area rather than I can't help the pain that's hurting, you know? So just find things that you can help each other with rather than like, I don't know, fighting about it. Okay, good or bad habits that you got from each other?
Okay, this is not really good or bad. I don't even know what category this would be, but when I crack an egg, instead of throwing the egg away, I just put the shell in the carton and put it back in the fridge. So now in the fridge we'll have like 11 cracked eggs and then one just ready to go egg instead of just throwing it away.
Yeah, I do that. My family does that. I actually figured that out. I asked my mom why she does that, and she said she doesn't know. It's because her mom did it. So then I asked my grandma why she does that, and she said she doesn't know. It's just what her mom did. So it's just funny how those traditions like seamlessly get passed down by accident. And Noah would throw them all away, and I just was like, why do you do that? And it's just because his mom does that. So it's just funny. Like now I guess we're compromising. There's like some holes and some not holes in the egg container. So I would say maybe I'm starting to throw them away now. And you're not. Okay, I would say a good or a bad habit. I would say this isn't necessarily a bad habit, but more of just like a habit of like releasing things. Because for instance, like I'm super OCD about the house, and mostly because if my space isn't clean, then I have like a cluttered mind, and I like to have control of certain things, and I feel like my room and my house are things that I can control. So if everything else is like kind of wacky or crazy, I can control like the tidiness of my home. So like sometimes you're messier than me, which isn't a bad thing, but it kind of has made me relax a bit, to where usually I would be freaking out like if it's not, everything's in a spot before I go to bed or something, where now I'm just kind of more relaxed. I'm starting to become more relaxed, and it's kind of a good thing because I realize that carries over into other areas of my life as well. So just like not being uptight about certain things because you're really laid back. So yeah, I think that's a good bad habit, a bad good habit. Okay, what's your favorite thing about marriage?
Again, I think you can't just like put one thing on the board, but it's a series of doing life together. Like we're here in New York, just experiencing that and having a companion. And so I think actually the deepest thing is probably to have someone that sees a side of you that maybe you're blind to, and have someone to help you in that area, and in a lot of ways, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially, in the business, all those things. It'd be very hard to do that alone. So it's very divine how it's been orchestrated that way, and I can't imagine it any other way.
Yeah, I would say just like having a best friend all the time is like really cool, and then also I don't know, just like having someone to do life with that sees you for you and knows all the good and all the bad and like still is there. I feel like that's really like huge, because especially like in my life, it's like it's easy to have friends that, or I don't know, that like only see the good, and then once there's like some bad, then like they're gone. But like having someone there for like all of the seasons, it just like they understand everything, so it's like easy to go to him about things and like I don't know, just good conversation and just someone to like really do life with. And then also I would say, I don't know, a favorite thing is like so hard, but I don't know. I'd say just from like dating, just like being able to like live together is so fun. And like go on trips, because like we never could when we were dating, so just like a constant sleepover with your best friend is really fun. Okay. What's the craziest thing you've done since you've been married?
I mean, I'd say probably just like our Europe trip was wild and eventful, and you know, island hopping in Greece. Not really. I mean, we were a little younger then, and we'd never traveled abroad together.
And we took public transportation everywhere, so it's not like we have all this money to spend where we just had safe private drivers driving us around. Like we took kids' school buses to our hotels.
It was wild.
So that was super crazy.
Yeah, no help at all. We just did it all on our own.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be the craziest.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the craziest too. I can't even think of anything else. Just all of our trips. Share a story where you saw Jesus in your husband or wife. That's easy for me. Pretty much every single day, because I need a lot of forgiveness. So just you're always like slow to anger and quick to forgive, not easy to forgive. Quick to forgive and slow to anger, and you're humble in areas that you could choose not to be humble in. Someone on the roof. But yeah.
I'd say for you, it wouldn't just be one thing, but a couple things that I've noticed is how you use the platform of social media to interact with people, and not let it become like an identity flaunt, or but rather a window into people's lives, and a way to see people that, and I've heard you talk about certain people that need encouragement and love, and you pursue them. And people that are hurting, most of the time in the world standards, you kind of try to protect yourself from that so you don't get hurt, but rather I think you've had the mindset to pursue those people and go after them. I think that's what Jesus does with us. And there's been different, not just online, but relationships we've had with people that most people would overlook, but you saw and you reached out to. Even here in the city, like there's been multiple moments where somebody needed help, and you saw them, and you were very in tune with what was going on. And I feel like Jesus was very aware of everything that was going on and the people that surrounded him, and he would leave the big crowds, and he would pursue the one person that needed it. So I've seen that for sure.
Cool. We kind of already talked about this, but how do you guys handle conflict?
You want the good? You want the bad?
Both.
The bad is I'm okay with just going to sleep and like forgetting about it, and maybe that could be some good because I'm willing to just kind of like let it go, and I know I'm just gonna forget about it in a couple days and like I don't know, just throw it away. But you kind of always want to dig into the deeper part of the issue, which is good, but sometimes it's just me having an attitude or whatever.
Yeah,
So.
I'd say I'm a fixer. I like to fix problems. I'm a problem solver. And so if there's an issue, I try to figure out what the actual issue is. And then once I can pinpoint it, then I can fix it. So that's why I'm always asking, because it's hard for me to understand, even in my own self, like where did the anger come from or where did whatever come from. So I'll try to like figure it out. Sometimes I can't, sometimes I do, and I fix it or I work towards it. Sometimes it's just emotional, so I just try to take the emotion out of things. That's kind of hard for me. It's easier for you, but I just try to like really be wise with my words though in conflict, because I feel like words are super powerful, and growing up I would fight with like my parents all the time, and so I just now am more aware in my adult life of what words mean and how you can say certain words during emotional times. And so I really have clung on to words that have been said to me in emotion throughout my life, just like from coaches or parents or whatever. So yeah, I don't ever want that to be something like in a marriage. So I think just like watching your words, not just throwing them around when you're angry, and then also just try to take the emotion out of it and like really take a second to be like, okay, what is the problem, and then like talk about it.
Yeah, what I always say is that in marriage, what you say and what you don't say will be used against you. So it's a matter of being slow to speak and quick to listen, and also quick to let go, and quick to move on. All those things.
Okay, this one's fun. Where do you find inspiration for style, home decor, and passion?
Wow. Did you make these questions?
No.
Okay.
These are all
Good.
from Instagram.
Shout out to whoever made this question.
I know.
Dude, so inspiration comes from exposure. So the more you're exposed to things, the more you're going to be inspired or developed. We're super into film. Film happens through a process of exposure, and it's developed. So I think that for us, it's been a journey of traveling and constantly being exposed to different cultures, different architecture, different fashion, different people, and relationships. So that has sort of made the culmination of who we are as people, and in terms of style and passion and drive. So the key is to not be overwhelmed with what you see, but rather to point out and just look at what drives you and makes you happy and inspired, rather than just being like, it's easy, we're in the city to try to become everybody. You can't do that. You got to be you. So it's a balance of like taking in from what you're seeing, but also still being you, and expressing. So I think there's just a natural thing that happens, and you just can't force that. So, but to pinpoint where the source comes from, it's obviously, I told her this, that it's God's world. He created it, and we're kind of all imitating Him.
Yeah.
And everything we do is because we were made to worship and made to create. And so, really, we're each individual, but we're not completely original in the sense of what we create. It is special and unique because it's coming from us, but really, we're imitating God, our Creator.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. As far as like style, I would say it's easy to just like he said, like look at people and like want to be everyone. But I think that it comes from like a sense of identity and like knowing who you are first, because I've seen a lot of people travel and like visit other things and have a lot of exposure, and sometimes it's not good for people that don't know who they are, because you can just get lost in wanting to be everything that you're not. So once you kind of have a sense of who you are as a person, and for me, like that's like my identity in Jesus, and like that's where my confidence stems from. So once I'm confident in that, it doesn't really matter what I'm wearing. It doesn't really matter what my style is, because my confidence doesn't come from that. But I would say, as far as like realistically, like I think I can get inspiration from literally anything. Like just looking at like the texture of a wall could like give me an inspiration for like a texture in a home, or just seeing certain colors paired together, like maybe in a park, like certain flowers paired together could be like inspiration for a color combination of an outfit. What are you doing that for? Is he? Oh.
This is just where I let my cup
rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
No big deal.
And then yeah, just like the more that we travel and the more things I see, I like pick my favorite things from all of these different areas, because it's easy to just like, we go to Greece and like change everything to be Greek, or you go to Paris and you change your whole entire life to be Parisian, or you come to New York and it's all just so different, modern, you're wearing black, you're expressing yourself. The homes are older, more like characters, different things like that. Or you go to California, everything's more relaxed, laid back, beachy, airy, light. I don't know. So anyways, I would say once you know who you are and your own personal like style and identity, then you can choose little things from all the places that you go to, and then just like add that in. Like for instance, like I probably would not wear socks with loafers, but when I'm here, it's kind of like I've been seeing it and it's cool, but like I would wear the loafers, you know what I mean? But I probably wouldn't have thought to put the socks with it. But that's a cute vibe, so now I'm doing that. But I picked that from New York, and that's because I'm confident to wear it. So not just to think like, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I can't whatever. It's like you can do whatever you want if you're confident.
I like to think of it like a great chef. A great chef has a story behind their dish, and there's so many different fusions of flavors, and what the chef does is they take different seasonings and different techniques from all the different walks of life that they've encountered, and they combine it into a dish to give it flavor. But if you add too much of one flavor, it becomes an untasteful dish. So style is about taste and continuity, consistency, and dependability, in the sense of you don't want the core of the dish to be completely tarnished. So you want, like, let's just say it's a soup. You want the broth of the soup to stay the same, but yet the seasonings can change and evolve and add with flavor and taste with specific design, rather than just being an extreme one way or the other. It has to be done in taste, and so that has to come from the designer.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, what is your 3 more and then we're done? What is your greatest strength as a couple?
I think that, funny enough, we have a lot of good times together, and we laugh frequently. So that's something that you'd be surprised what joy and laughter would do to you. It's a very powerful weapon in a lot of ways. I think that would be one thing.
I would say that like my weaknesses you strengthen, and then your weaknesses I strengthen, and it's kind of like they're perfectly meshed together, so it's almost like we're better together than we are apart. More powerful together than we are apart. I'm more confident when I'm with you. Or okay. What is your favorite place you've traveled? 1, 2, 3.
Paris. Oh, let's go.
Of course. I
Yeah.
love Paris.
Yeah, no brainer. That's the best.
The food, the history, the people, the culture, the language, the croissants, the coffee.
Dude, someone in the coffee shop we were just in ordered it as a croissant, and he had a full-on American accent. He was just throwing that out for vibes only, and then she was like, "Oh, what do you say?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm French," and I was like, "Dude, come on."
Yeah, it was really
He was
cringy.
really going for it.
It was
but,
real cringe.
Hey, I guess if you're French.
If you're French. He's not from France. He's definitely from, like, Georgia.
He wanted to be.
Okay. Paris for sure. What are you... Okay, we already did that. Let's just make up our own last question, because...
Okay, what's the number one thing you want to accomplish before the year's out?
Personally, or as a couple?
Whatever.
I have 4.
See, this is
easy.
This is our relationship.
This is easy. These are easy things. Start and what's the word for like keeping it going? Maintain.
Yeah.
Start and maintain our podcast together. Noah's already started without me, so this should not be that hard. That's one thing. 2 would be work with 3 people. That's always been the goal. But I feel like I'm just like right there this year for some reason. So we'll see. Continuing like my relationship with brands and stuff, and just continuing to say yes to opportunities. So that's 2. 3 would be to finish a project that I'm working on that I can't really say because I want it to be a surprise. Do you know what it is?
Got it. Yep.
So that I want to finish. And then lastly, I don't know. I feel like I have something bigger.
See, that's the thing with us. We're always dreaming bigger.
I feel like there's something else that I really want to do before the end of the year. What even month is it? September.
We're a couple months out, 3 months or so. I think for me, I just want to put some music out there and the podcast, and I'm also working on another book. So, yeah, we got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's all we got. Hopefully we can do some more of this, and we can get our podcast out, and we can get some good content for people to learn about lifestyle and, you know, all the good stuff.
Yes. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this type of video, please let me know down below. And then I'm probably going to be doing some like question boxes on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely go over there. It's at taylornicolehayden, and his is at Noah Hayden with 1 H in the middle. So NOAHAYDEN. You can follow us on Instagram. Keep up with us there. But yeah, we'll be doing some more videos soon. I'm really bad at YouTube, but I'm trying to get better. So maybe that's my 4th goal for the year. Get better at YouTube. Okay. So thank you guys.
See ya.